Big Boy's Neighborhood. All righty now, man. First off, I can say welcome back to the neighborhood, man. Jeezy in the neighborhood, man.
What up, though?
Everything good with you?
Everything's great, baby.
You looking like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You know, I try.
Yeah.
I do okay.
What are you doing to preserve your look, bro?
Man, I just
That I'm not doing.
Yeah, I just take, I'm just, taking care of everything.
But you've been rich a long time too. Sometimes that helps.
Yeah,
You got secrets. Come on, tell us what your secret is.
I was already rich though.
That's why I say you've been rich a long time.
No. I mean with integrity, morals, the balance.
I was straight talking about dollars.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Narrow.
I mean, but for me, like these days, man, it's like self, loving yourself and taking care of yourself that's a big thing, man. Making sure your mind's clear, your body's good, you feel great, you up early.
Did you see this as a future? At one point, man, we so into grinding and getting more than what we had, today than yesterday, that sometimes we don't see that. We see the road, but we don't see that road, that long picture. You know what I'm saying? And now that you look here and you can look at a lot in the rear view mirror. You know what I'm saying? Is there a difference between Jeezy now and Jeezy 10, 15 years ago?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jeezy 10, 15 years ago would have been doing this interview with a Glock 40 on his lip.
Oh,
right. Now where's it at? Just in your back?
It's in my Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, but let's be clear. Like, for me, like, just being mindful of where you at. Like, don't get it wrong. I'm still on the grind every day.
Yeah.
But I want to be healthy enough to spend it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people get all this paper and get all these accolades, and and they're not taking care of themselves, and then they diagnosed with something, and it's all for because you still got to take care of yourself.
Hey man, we've seen the game change so much too.
Right.
And we've seen a lot of different, everybody's running to different styles, doing certain things. But even with TM104, it's like that's Jeezy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I never, and I've said this before with other people, I've never seen where we ask, like, man, what is he doing right now? Like, what is this he doing?
Right.
Like, why do you always stay true to that form that we bought into early?
Right. I feel like, it's two artists that always respected their craft from top to bottom. One is Sade and the other is Maxwell. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like they do their music. You know what I mean? So no matter what the numbers are, you know what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? No matter how it looks on the outside, like you're getting Sade. And I always respected their craft. And when I started making music and I made my template, I like this is who I am. This is how this is how I'm gonna be. And because I always looked at my music like self-help books, and the songs were chapters. You know what I'm saying? So
were they for us? You are all.
All.
Yeah.
Because it was my therapy to talk about things that I went through. Because sometimes young black men, we so deprived of things and so rebellious that we don't really take the time to think about the things that we overcome because we always feel like it's us against the world. So I never had a diary, but my music is like my diary. That's how I keep a log of where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And where I'm going. Yeah.
Have you seen anything different from now, the way that you write, as far as we're looking at a presidency right now?
Right.
And when we think about my president is black, now we look now and it's like, man, we got polar opposites.
Oh yeah.
In the White House now, man.
Definitely. I just feel like for me, I just try to stay with the times. I watch what I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the game. It's some people that I really love their music, but they bring what they bring, and once you realize what your value is, and you be the best at that, then nobody can. That's your superpower. Like nobody can be you. Like nobody can be Big Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You bring that to the game. Somebody else can sit in that chair tomorrow, but they won't bring what you bring. So I always look at it like that. Somebody else can be in the game, but they're not gonna bring what Jeezy bring. Because I came in the game the way I came in the game, self-made. I did it my way, and when it's all said and done, I did it my way. When I look at the late greats like Pac, you know what I'm saying? Like, Pac died young, so we didn't get to see his evolution. Like we don't know.
Yeah, man.
We don't
turning
know
the corner.
Right.
What was next?
Right. So for me, it's just like I feel blessed to be in that situation because a lot of these cats is coming up. They seeing somebody grow up in this. I didn't see Jay-Z grow up. I just know. When I saw him and then all of a sudden he was
right,
you know what I'm saying? So it's it's one thing for a cat to see you on the block and know you was right there with him with Chuck Taylor's on, and then all of a sudden you're on TV. But then he can be on TV now because TV is YouTube. But then, you know, you look around nowadays and you see, you know, somebody that can sit in the room with Fortune 500 company CEOs and get these big deals done
man.
because the streets taught me about business. Then that's what I want to show him now, because I already opened the door for him to get in there and, you know, rap about the trap all day. It's open, it's wide open. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was like, look, I broke it. I broke in the door and I left it cracked. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just like it's, you know, I'm climbing in the window.
Now
and I'm setting it up for him.
I do want to ask Jeezy. We hear a lot about either who started trap. Is there a who started, or is there a forefathers? You know,
I know
what I'm
who
saying?
started it for me.
See,
My homeboy Stacy. They stayed on Popper Street in the first, because it was like shotgun houses, so it was two apartments in one unit. In a shotgun house, you know, if you walk in, it's the living room, the bedroom, and the kitchen and the back door. So it's like big as this room. You know what I'm saying? So that's who started trap for me, because he the first one I seen with some money, and I was just like, yo, how you get that?
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, I'm gonna show you. So to me, that's the real trap. You know what I'm saying? I can't put trap with a sound. It's too many people in prison, you know what I'm saying, or in the penitentiary, or, you know, I've been in situations where people mama went to jail because they was caught up in their case. You know what I'm saying? So I respect those who went out here and you know, got on the front line and actually lost something about it. I can't respect the guy who, you know, puts on some shades and some chains and then all of a sudden he you. You know what I'm saying? Because you still, you know, doing, you know, 20, 30 years, or your mama, you know, ain't living how she used to live because you're not getting to the paper no more. Now she got to go back to the projects, but you still want your mother to do well. So I can't respect the person that looks.
Do
at
you
something.
feel like the term, or just what it felt like, or what it originated from? Do you feel like now trap is just thrown out?
I mean, it's because you got to understand, I came from an era where, you know, throwing money is something we invented. You know what I'm saying? But people don't know why we threw money. It was a business card. It was if I fuck up, you know, $500,000 in 2 days because you don't see me in Magic City, why would you be scared to spend $3 million with me? You know I'm not gonna rob you. You know I'm gonna be here next week doing the same thing, and at the same time, it's a Robin Hood effect because you feel like you're making all this money, but you're giving back to the mothers of the strippers. You know you
almost started me to strip years ago because I remember one time, Jeezy, we sat down and you was like, yeah, man, you had just threw like 50 racks.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong.
I won't do it now though, I'll tell you that.
That's a different time.
But you already paid all that tuition into the school of experience though.
Right. But I'm saying all that to say that you know, when you doing it, even like popping bottles of champagne, this is something we did because we were celebrating freedom. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you really look at the commercials and stuff these days, you can tell that they take our culture and they exploit it.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, trap was real, but then when they found out it was lucrative and you can monetize it, they took it and exploited it. So anybody can be from the trap if it sounds like that, but that's not real because you know anybody can't be from LA just because they get on that West Coast mustard beat.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, you know, for me, you know, I look at it, you know, as a real thing, because I went through all of it from the smallest to the biggest. Like I've been, you know, part of the, well, I wouldn't say part, but affiliated with the biggest cartel of this, you know, of our century. You know what I'm saying? And to the smallest hustler of our, you know, of our times. And for me, it's just like, I just seen everything they went through, and I respect the fact that somebody would risk their lives to feed their family. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at it, I can't equate that with a sound.
Hey, let me ask you, Jeezy, with so many albums, right? And why does this get a TM104?
Well, first of all, it's my last installment of Thug Motivation. If you've been following me, you know 101 to the inspiration to, and if you look at them, they always got subtitles because that lets you know where you at with it. So
this is the legend.
The legend. So these are the things that this guy went through that you see on that cover to get to where I can sit here and talk to you about the things I got going on now. And I went through the smallest to the biggest things. And I remember that the cover was, I was riding in the West End. I was in my low-key car because I was 1 foot in, one foot out the streets. And I saw that shirt around Trap or Die. hanging on like the little side stands where they sell like the fruit and the socks and the t-shirts. And I just was like, damn, I'm on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's me.
Saying? Right. So I just rolled by and I looked at it in slow motion. I was like, yo, one day I'm gonna use that for something. And when I saw it, and I saw it on a shirt again that somebody had on, and I was like, yo, that's gonna be the album cover, because that's the guy that was out here putting it on the front line to get where he's at. And that's the Snowman. That's the guy. So when I did A Legend of Snowman, I wanted to tell my story from top to bottom. If you listen to The Entrepreneur, it's really talking about, how I started. And then how I started to sit in the room with Gary Vee for him to look at me and be like,
man.
You should buy Wheaties.
What's the relationship between you and Gary Vee?
It's dope. I went to have an interview with him, and when I walked, I like Gary energy. I'm all about energy. If your energy whack, I don't know. But I walked in the room to meet him, and he just, he looked. This is my first time meeting him. He's just like, yo, you should buy Wheaties. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, damn, I didn't think about that. Yeah. But this is somebody that does business all day and that looks at you and go, you can do that. I can see you making that happen, because people believe in the things that you say. But you got to know that. So for me, that and to sum it all up, is like, that's why I call it the entrepreneur. Yeah. Because it's like, what happens after you trap? You know what I'm saying? What happens after the sound phase? Like, who are you? Like, what's your next phase? So the entrepreneur is the guy that keeps it going, because he was a hustler from the beginning. He wasn't attached to the sound. Right. You know what I'm saying? He was already on the path.
Like, I'm gonna eat.
Right. I'm gonna eat, whether it's and by the way, if you really look at it and being all the way honest, I told him when I came in the game that I was corporate thugging.
Like I told y'all back then.
That was my vision, because people get it misconstrued. Oh man, you ain't put a lot of people on. I was like, bro, I was trying to get out the streets. I ain't trying to be a CEO of right. I'm trying to be.
I ain't Barry Gordy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because that's what excites me. So, the entrepreneur is like, watch my moves. 10 years, you're gonna sit back, and people don't peep that. Like, Magic Johnson was a great basketball player.
Say it.
Great. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing. But his business, you know what I'm saying? Lionel Richie, great artist. But his business.
Yeah, man.
You feel what I'm saying?
Those just be appetizers to the meal.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta know at some point they made a decision, like, this is who I am, but this is what I'm gonna do. Because if you're gonna live your life and you're gonna put in the work, you know what I'm saying, it gotta make sense at the end. Because the end goal is to be comfortable, your family good, and you still do what you love.
And then there is no royalty money. Remember, people used to wait on royalty money getting paid through album sales. It's like you gotta become a brand and become everything.
Yeah, for
your
me,
way.
Even for me though, like, and a lot of people don't realize that, because if you look at the Snowman, that's like one of the most recognizable brands in our culture when it comes to music. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that when CNN tried to ban it. But I didn't realize I was making a brand when I was making a brand. Right. So now when I'm making these brands, I'm going, okay, I'm gonna do what I did with this because I believed in this. You know
in the beginning of that track, Gary Vee says, like, fear is not an option.
Yeah.
In your career, was there anything that you were fearful of?
Hell yeah, going to jail.
Yeah. That was the biggest one.
In the beginning, it was a lot because, like I said, I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So, I mean, I it was times where I was, drinking too much because I was trying to numb it, especially doing my first and second album, because I was just like, they're going to knock on my door at any time. Yeah. Let me just enjoy this right now. You know what I mean? One more bottle, please. And you just living that life, and then you wake up, because I woke up around the recession, and I just started having real clarity, like, hold up, man. Like, I'm going to be here. I'm free. I'm good. My mama's straight. You know what I'm saying? So it was that. But to answer your question, it was a lot of times of not knowing about the business, because I knew I had a gift to talk to the people, but I didn't know about the business. So it's like, you get caught up in trying to quote unquote keep it solid, and then you might have a lot of things around you that just ain't, the energy ain't positive. You know what I'm saying? And it's really holding you back from your blessings. And for me, it's just like, I fear cutting things off because I feel like I wouldn't be real until I got incarcerated the last time in LA. And I was like, when I was sitting in that cell, I was like, yo, man, you got to keep it real with yourself. Like, at this point, You know what I'm saying? You grown, you know what I mean? You taking care of a lot of people, but if, you know what I'm saying, if you depleted,
yeah, man.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They get the head, the body.
Like you waking up
right.
to take care of a lot of other people.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And just listening to you as well when you say, man, I felt like I had to turn up. This could be gone. And then you start to think like, nah, wait, hold on. I'm here. We see a lot of people, Jeezy, that hustle backwards. Right. It's like they got on and they doing cool, and now they want to gang bang. Now they want to look like King Trap.
But that's the irony of it.
Yeah, man.
That's what I swear,
like when I'm cool, keep me around now.
Man, I swear I be talking to somebody, I be like, yo, man. But they look at you like you crazy. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, like just think about it. You get caught up in the way they locking these cats up now. It's just like rap is the new streets. But then you think about it. You know, it don't cost you nothing like this moment. But them $5-6 million you missing while you sitting down 8-9 months for nothing. You gonna need that when you 35.
Yeah, man.
You gonna need that when it's time for your kids to go to school. You know what I mean?
Hell
like,
yeah.
Like, but you missing out. You know what I'm saying? And you in a position where, you know what I'm saying, you really beat the streets, you won. So if you go backwards, my uncle used to tell me all the time, man, you put a car in reverse and it gets stuck, you going backwards. That's it. You can't go forward. You know what I'm saying? So for me, you know what I'm saying, when I see cats, I'm like, because I want them to win.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, win. This your world, get your money. You made it out the hood, your mama straight, you're doing better, then you get out here and get caught up. And it's just like, you know, they don't see it today, but I saw it. I spent millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in lawsuits, millions of dollars in, you know, taking care of other people because they got caught up. And it just like, you just sit around one day and you go, damn, man, like, really the objective is to stay away from all this. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like that makes more sense.
How do you balance off of, because for one, you never had to tell us who you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm this, I'm that. And like people just know from our first handshake that you just Jeezy, like you real. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't have to overdo it.
Right.
Now we see people that they constantly telling you how hard they are. Right. Social media got us banging like ways I never knew that, you know, you just putting it out there. How much do you put on social media, and how do you use social media as a tool?
Yeah. I ain't on front. Like it took. I remember one time somebody showed me Instagram. I was like, I'd never do that.
Yeah,
I would never put a picture of myself on the internet. But you know, I had to get
you be the dinosaur too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I had to get with it.
Sign this promo picture for me.
What they call it, headshot.
Jeezy. You know what I'm saying?
I had to get with it, but you know, you got to understand when the times change, people change. You know what I'm saying? Like even the law enforcement, they get with the times. They hire younger kids now that can go through it and watch all these things.
That look like.
Yeah, and then they're watching everything that you're doing on the net. So it's easier to see who you're affiliated with, who you standing beside. You know what I'm saying? What you wore last night, what you had on. What did you pose with? Did you have this gun? Did you have that gun?
Click all the way down, he got a gun in his hand.
Right. And they can put him with the crimes. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, I think me personally, like, I just think the guidance ain't there.
Right.
And ain't nobody holding them accountable. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, there's a lot of wet pillows in the penitentiary, man, because, you know, they going in younger. So it's like, you know, it's cool when you're on the street, but when you get in there, you know, it's real. You know what I'm saying?
When you do see like a Tekashi 6ix9ine or somebody like that, do you stand back and watch the movie like, man, I've seen this movie, I know how this ends?
I can't even front. Like, I knew he was going to crash. But if he was smart, he would have, you know, played it safe. He'd have been in the movies right now. You know what I'm saying? Because he's it's clear to see he's an actor.
Yeah, right.
You know
right.
Like, so an actor can emulate anything. He was emulating the music, and then he was watching what people did to gain clout, and he mastered it. So he's really a marketing genius if you really sit down and look at it. But that don't mean he's a real individual.
Right. So
you marketing and you playing with fire, because just like you marketing and it looks good on the net, but then you got real live shit going on behind the scenes, and you dealing with some real people. So now you get hit with a RICO. This is John Gotti charges. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real life. Because you can't really fight it. You're not beating that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody doing some time.
Yeah.
Somebody doing some time.
Yeah. Everybody in the room.
So even when he told, I was just like, I mean, you know how many mobsters told? You know what I'm saying? So imagine the kid going in there and they tell him, man, you're going to do 30 years. You're like, nah, man, I'm 23 now. If I get out in 10 years, I'm good. You know, people gonna forget about that in 10 days.
Right.
So it's like, man, they're not being held accountable. Like, I I couldn't go to jail on a traffic ticket back then to be out in an hour.
Right.
You told me. He's snitching, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just a different day and time, but I don't think that you can compare what they do with how we came in the game, because the stakes were different. We had different people that I looked up to Tupac. You know what I'm saying? He set the bar when it came to like rules, because he was getting them from the Bay, he was getting them from LA, he was getting them from different places, and they were solid rules. So that's what I grew up. I grew up on the Master P's, like you know that. So those were the rules for me. And so the cats that grew up on, you know, my music, that's what the rules for them.
Yeah.
But this is a whole nother, you know, regime. And they growing up, I mean, you know, you ran off on the plug 5 times. Like,
Right.
You know
He said 5 times.
Right, not 2,
Yeah,
but 5.
not twice.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that grew up on your music, Kendrick Lamar, young Kendrick Lamar, on Good Kid, Mad City, talked about listening to your first album. Did you know who Kendrick Lamar was when The Art of Peer Pressure came out?
I met Kendrick backstage at a show in LA, and you know, he was just cool. You know what I'm saying? And you know, his vibe is just cool. But I really got into his music. Me and him did a record. He wanted me on the song, and I got on the song. But I didn't realize the impact that he had in LA because I wasn't familiar with the music. You know what I'm saying? So as time went on, I was seeing him around. I was like, yo, what you got going? So we would talk here and there. And then next thing you know, like, you know what I'm saying, he was huge. And when I heard the album and, you know, just the little interludes and the things they were talking, I was like, damn, that's what's up, because I wouldn't have known I had that impact on some kids coming up in Compton. You know what I'm saying?
But the world knows Kendrick now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why did you, and that's almost lending your brand to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, why early on? What did you see early on that the world sees now? Because now it's an easy call.
Right. I just feel like he was genuine. I did. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he was genuine. He was humble, and it was clear to see that he had talent. You know what I'm saying? And some people, like you said, they don't have to tell you who they are. Yeah. You just kind of feel it when they're around. I felt that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do my business. That's how I build my friendships, my relationships, just based off energy. You know what I'm saying?
What did you feel about Nipsey Hussle?
Oh man, Nipsey was special, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Nip was different, because Nip, you know, you see Nip and you just expect one thing, and then Nip would be like, yo, did you read this book?
Yeah.
Everybody, and I'd be like, nah, I ain't read that one. And once I feel like we can have that type of dialogue, you know what I'm saying, or just, you know, just have them type of conversations, it really took our friendship to another level, because when you around Nip, it's positive energy, but he the type of person like me, he want to walk away with something. Yeah. What did I learn, you know, from hanging out with you today? And one thing I learned about him early on, because when I took him to Atlantic to get his deal, and when he got his deal, he didn't announce the deal till maybe like almost 2 years later, and I was just like, but he was so strategic about the things that he did, and he had a lot of patience. And then I remember him, my partner calling me from Avion Tequila, and he's like, yo man, you got to sit me down with Nipsey. And I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? My partner Ken Austin from New York, and I was like, you know, but I'm gonna tell you something about him going in. This kid is not finna take no money you giving him. Like, he's gonna want some ownership. Yeah, just let's be clear.
You knew that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I remember after the meeting, Nip called me like, yeah, you know, it sounded good, but you know, we ain't really chasing no money. You know, if they can't.
Yeah, man.
I was like, you know me, hood. You know me, hood. I ain't about to be. You know what I'm saying? And Ken called me.
He did exactly what you thought, huh?
Yeah, Ken called me. He said, yo, man, this kid is smart. I said, no, he's really smart. He's really smart. And a lot of people didn't know, like, you know, Nip would read, Nip would be up on things, you know. I mean, like, for him to even have the first tech store here.
Yeah.
You know, like, he was, how do you do that coming from,
you
know what I'm saying, South Central? Like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't, and when I look at it to this day, I just think that, you know, it's sad that people don't know your worth until you're gone or what you was doing. But when I went to his funeral, like, I was proud to know him. You know what I'm saying? I was proud to be a part of his legacy. I was proud to sit in the studio while he played me records. I was proud to have conversations with him, because one thing Nip did is everything that he rapped about, that's who he was. Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that he didn't do is try to follow the what was hot, the crowd. He stood on his own. He stood by himself, and he stuck to his code. And I respect that.
Rick Ross is on the album. How did you two come together?
It was basically a conversation. I mean, for me, it wasn't really no issue in the first place. I just felt like, you know, money's involved. Everybody got cliques and crews, and when you're not communicating, you know, things can get taken out of context. You know, I can see, you know, I might see him out, and you know, it ain't what I felt like. You know, when it's love. But if you're around, you know, everybody got pride. He's like, I ain't about to go over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't going over there slap hands.
Right. So it's just like, you know, when we got in the same room, it was just like this. It was like, yo, so what's good? You know, we just chopping it up. And it's like, when we got ready to do War Ready. And, you know, when you think about life and just think about, you know, how it works, it's like we all businessmen at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to have good business when you're dealing with people that are also of stature with yourself. And it's like when you start thinking about all the tours that got missed out on, all the records, you know, all the times, you know what I'm saying, all the business ventures, you gotta really sit there and think, you know, all that's based on not having having communication. It doesn't make any sense. How is that possible?
And then also, man, it's like you get to a point where I'm glad we saw y'all turn that corner.
Right.
Because sometimes we don't get a chance to see people turn that corner.
And it's crazy because, you know, a lot, and I say again, a lot of people didn't really realize, you know, how that, but, you know, not to compare, but imagine if Big and Pac would have done that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's that evolution I'm talking about, that you don't get it. Not that people getting soft. It just makes sense for the culture.
Yeah. And then you got to think, man, there's people that really love y'all. And y'all probably may not even lock up. But then you got an extension of you. You know what I'm saying? That you also got to be concerned about.
No, it's real. I mean, you know, even just in this business, you know, it's ran by, we already know who. So us as brothers, you know what I'm saying? We got to stick together anyway, because at the end of the day, you know, even without them involved, we got to still make moves together. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense for me not to be on the up and up with Puff. That's crazy. Yes,
you get really personal on The Real MVP, and you talk about the type of son that you've been. What were you going through emotionally when you were writing that track?
Like I said, I never had a diary, and you know, my mom's going through her thing right now, and I just feel like it was a letter. You know what I'm saying? I just want her to know how I really felt, because I missed out on a lot of time because my focus was different. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, my thing is to anybody that's listening, like when you got star players in your corner, your MVPs, like the people who really go hard for you, like just make sure you take the time to recognize them while they're here. You know what I'm saying? While they're around. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't gonna always be like that.
But sometimes too, we get this vision where the time that we're not spending with them is the time that we're out making sure that they're straight.
Right.
Too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but you got to know that balance, huh?
Yeah, you got to have that balance, bro. Because when it's one thing you can't get back, you can get money, cars, you know, everything back, but you can't get your time. You can't get it. You know what I'm saying? No matter who you pay. I mean, just think about all the people that's sick. They got all this money, and then all of a sudden they diagnosed with cancer. They would rather give you all their money, to have your health. You know what I'm saying? And be broke than to have all that money. And then it ain't like nobody going, you know, die with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're rich.
Is it different when you have this and going into TM104, like either writing or, you know, taking off so many so-called layers?
No, because for me, it was just my truth. You know what I'm saying? Sonically, it's how I really felt. You know what I mean? I went in that space in my head where to me, you know, I wrote my all eyes on me. You know what I'm saying? That was Thug Motivation 101. This was more so, you know, my Machiavelli. You know what I mean? It ain't no fluff to it. Ain't no
How
polish.
do you invite people to your Machiavelli as far as when we think about collaborations? Because already anything that got a TM on it is view. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like
the whole time.
it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? And not that anything else, but those are like when I saw TM104, I was like, okay, he don't just give that title. Right. So how do you invite someone to be on this?
As far as features,
like Meek, you know what I'm saying? Like
it was whoever fit the criteria. Like for me, it was like John Legend for The Real MVP. You know, John just got that when he talks, like you feel it. You know, when he sings, you feel it. 06 with Ross, you know, that was around the time we both was coming into the game. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, let's take it back there. Let's get on them type of beats. Already Rich with CeeLo, you know, CeeLo got soul. And it's like you need to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? They need to feel you. MLK with Meek Mill, you know, you already see we out here doing the prison reform.
Yeah.
All that, so it just made sense. So the features were based on, you know, how the records felt and just reaching out to the people that I had real relationships with. So I ain't played a game where, you know, if somebody was hot.
Right, yeah,
you know
yeah.
I just try to, you know what I'm saying? It was like,
give me such and such.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had those, oh man, you know how many times I had those conversations?
Yeah,
like,
be doing another Old Town Road.
Right. It almost happened.
From somebody else probably pitching it to you.
Oh no, you know the record labels, they crazy.
Yeah.
You know? It's like,
this is your...
And to me, it was like, I wanted to get beats from the people that I had a real relationship that I felt like was with me, you know, in part, like D Rich. That's my guy. He made Super Freak. He made Who That, all these records for me, and it's just like, take me back to that essence. And by the way, it is an acquired taste, but it's for the ones who want to look and feel something. If you take TM104 and Thug Motivation 101 and make that my movie, The Legend of the Snowman would be my documentary. Raw.
Yeah.
Rugged, black and white.
Is it exactly how you wanted it to come out?
Yeah. Because the people who are really appreciating it, they really appreciate it. They like, man.
Hey, man, I can tell by the way you said,
Yeah, no, they really, I mean, you know, the calls I get, like, man, you touched my heart.
And
like,
plus, I think we needed that, but we needed that.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're starting to get texture back in too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We starting to get texture back in. And the one thing I love about TM104 is that you gave us an album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like really an album, bro, where it's moods and it's roller coasters and it's life, because sometimes we happy, all right, and sometimes we down.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want to turn up, sometimes we want to sit somber.
Yeah.
And that's what I got when you listen to the album. And I'm starting to enjoy albums again.
I mean, for me, it's just like, you know, like I said, if it was a self-help book, audio self-help book, you can look at each chapter, each song like a chapter. You know, The Entrepreneur, that's a chapter. You listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Big Shit, that's a chapter. It's like, okay, I'm back on it. Look Like, that's a chapter. I'm out here, I'm relentless. You know what I'm saying? Already Rich, that's a chapter. So it's like, if you read self-help books, you know what chapter's for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, one song might be for you today, but tomorrow it might be, like you might have to listen to, like she said, Fake Love, featuring Queen Naija. Because it's just like, you might be going through that. Your best friend might, you know, go left on you. You know, a family member might, you know, cross you out. But you're gonna need that. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be a time that, and don't get me wrong, like the club music, I get it, but you got enough of that.
Yeah.
You got that. They do that in their sleep. I wanna give you something that you can live with. I wanna be in the hearts of, you know, men, women, and children. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go to these neighborhoods and I see people, it ain't the one song. It ain't that. It ain't that one hit that you had that I just, you know what I mean? It's like, I love what you do for us. You know? And
I think if you knocked on the door of each house too, somebody would probably come with a different song. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's been that too. It's been that, because I you know, I talk to people. I'm like, yo, you know, they like, man, I don't know, man. That Fake Love, man, it just touched me. Then you talk to them tomorrow. And it be like, the hardest of the hardest too sometimes too. You talk to them tomorrow, they be like, that 06 though, I don't know, but and then I had some, you know, some grown people call me like, man, like, you know, like some real, you know, people I respect, like, man, you know, real MVP, man, really had me in tears. Like, I'm going through my thing, but I would have never thought that you would open up to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel that. You know, I've been there, I've done that. And even the people who saw me grow up, when they hear me mentioning, you know, the street corners I was standing on, they didn't realize I was going through all that. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm saying that let this help you some type of way. Because I didn't have nobody I could talk to when I was going through that. Yeah, and especially probably at that time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like either it was an artist, or sometimes we can't even talk to the homie about what we really feeling. Well, we as men though, you know, especially, you know, black men, it's like you can't. It's hard for you to talk to somebody about anything or ask anybody anything, because it's almost like a sign of weakness. That's why I love seeing the conversation of mental health awareness even more so. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And that's real. Yeah, where we're talking about it, and there are no labels. There's no he's crazy or he's soft, he's this, he's that. Like, no, let me talk to you about what I feel like doing before I actually do that.
It, right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, man.
One track that I really appreciate is MLK Boulevard, which is it's no secret how you feel about Trump. But what were you thinking when you say "fuck Trump" in this specific song twice? Because I felt that twice.
What did I say?
You said "fuck Trump"
You gotta say it twice.
With a passion.
You gotta say it twice.
With a passion.
I mean, you know, I had songs like, you know, In the Hood on my Donald Trump with Air Force on. Like, I liked his business tactics at first. I did. You know what I'm saying? I think the guy's a genius. But he talking about being the leader of the free world, you know, and the commander in chief, and you tweeting like your favorite rapper, and you really showing people who you are. It's like, I can say, because it's people that do what I do that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like their ways, but that don't mean I gotta be with them. You know what I'm saying? Or rock with them. So I don't rock with him per se personally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just the way he goes about things, and when things happen in the country, like, he doesn't come and show up and make people feel better about what's gonna happen. You know, when the water's bad in Flint, like, he went down there and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
All this money that the government has, they're not, you know, you concerned about a wall, but like, what about us?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my
Tossing
take.
paper towels to people in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it just like, that just shows you he has no humility. And I can't respect a leader, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't feel for the people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's at the end of the day, it's about, you know, it's about the check. You know, and we all know that, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, you can't, you know, we already got done like that by Bush.
Yeah.
So you coming back with it again, and then it's just like, you, and I understand like being you and being unapologetic about it.
Right,
But
But this is ridiculous.
Too
What's your
much.
relationship?
It's like, damn, G, you gonna really show us that? Like, you don't really care. But to the point where I've seen, you know, and I pay attention to like details. I've seen his wife, you know, pull her hand away from her. She don't want to be. And if your woman
Free
don't want
Melania.
to stand beside you, like, that's real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That at home, you the same guy.
Have you had a conversation with Kanye West?
I have not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Ye since the MAGA hat.
I heard that.
Yeah, but I mean, I see.
But y'all
what he's
will. It's not by.
I'm not. One thing about me, man, like, to each his own, bro. Like, I learned a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what people think about me, because I'm the only one got to deal with that. So I ain't finna worry about no other man. You know what I'm saying? Or no other individual.
Who you fuck don't make me come.
Right.
Easy call.
So
Easy
so at
call.
the end of the day, I feel like you know, he gonna do what he do. You know what I'm saying? So and it looks like he's in a better place with what he's doing with the Sunday service.
Yes,
so
sir.
if he had to find God to be, you know, and use his talent to get people out, then you gotta respect it.
I
You know
heard
what I'm saying?
that.
He took a wrong turn. And that's the thing about politics I learned. If you want to please everybody, sell ice cream.
Yeah.
You want to piss everybody off, talk politics.
Yeah.
Because you're never gonna say anything about politics and everybody's gonna agree.
Everybody in the room, huh?
There's no way. It's gonna
Jeezy,
be
thank
split.
you for coming into the
Well,
neighborhood.
before I go, I got something for you.
All right. Is it that watch?
Yeah, you got this too. So you know, by this being TM104, the last entry of the Thug Motivation, you know, I've been working on my business ventures. So shouts out to Figures Wireless. If you check us out at www.figures.com/Jeezy, you can get the album for $10.04 and actually get a service with us as well. So that's www.figures.com/Jeezy. Album for $10.04 and you get some service.
Go ahead.
But
man.
What's this?
I
What's
got you
this?
something right here, giving the whole nine.
Hey, man,
for Big
I've
Boy.
been sitting here
he
looking at
Big
this
boy.
figure.
something for you.
I want you to open that up. Is this the
Can
right
every
shot?
guest do this?
Yeah.
Please? You know what I'm saying? Can every
come to
guest
someone's
come in?
zip-
I need you to
home,
open
you
that. I
bring
want you to open up the box first and let us see
All
the
right.
box.
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
I
So
shall, I
shouts out to
will.
Figures
Unboxing.
Wireless and Defiance Fuel.
Hold on. I got to make sure that we get this right.
Yeah.
Ooh, that looks like a fun
Yeah,
pack.
yeah.
Watch it. It's open from the
So you
bottom.
got
Yeah.
you got your cell phone, you got your
Okay.
earbuds, you got your charger, you got your speaker. But I really want you to open that box right there, that leather
right here?
box.
Is it a watch?
Is that like a leather box?
Yeah, that's
It
nice.
does.
That's fancy.
Shit,
So
I just
shouts
want
out
the
to
box.
Figures. Yeah.
What's in there?
All right.
I know, that's a good box.
Flip
Wait,
no,
flip it.
flip it back
He's
over.
gonna
a
put
bit.
that down first.
Yeah, flip it back over.
Yeah,
On the
man.
other side, flip it
And-
over.
okay.
There you go. Open that thing up, man.
All righty. Hold on.
What is it?
All right. Hold on. I want to open it up the right way.
Yes,
Hold on.
sir.
Let me see.
Show us
Let's
what
see,
you
let's
got.
see.
Uh-oh. What is that?
A phone.
Oh,
that a
wait,
phone?
wait.
Show us what we got.
Wait, it spoke.
There-
Yes,
That's
sir.
sick.
You going digital?
Yes, sir.
That's
Digital,
dope.
baby.
Man, I don't even want to take this off the box.
Yeah, so
Yeah, hold
inside
on.
is
Is that a
your
mobile device?
inside
That
is
is
your
hell of a-
your Figures Mobile F3 wireless phone, man. And this is my newest venture.
Hey, man.
And I wanted you to have that. And by the way,
ahead.
you got unlimited service. You can talk from Maine to Spain for as long as you want. You
Maine
with
to
us.
Spain.
You good.
It's already on?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
SIM card,
man,
everything.
That's-
Okay, boy.
You good.
Amen. And I can
connected.
talk from Maine to
To
Spain.
yeah. You can tell me the Compton to Watts, baby.
Yeah, man.
Good money. But I wanted you to
Lock
have
away.
that. And,
Shit, I want me to have it. What are you talking about?
and you good money, brother. That's all you.
Oh, man.
For sure.
Figures Wireless, unlimited photos. Oh, man. No, you got me,
Very
brother.
nice
Dope
of you.
presentation.
Love,
And
man.
you know, you could have waited a week and just presented this as my birthday present. So now you got
Happy
to
Early birthday
else.
present.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
No, this is dope as hell, boy.
Love, baby.
And it's on. The phone is on.
You good money.
Now I
You
can
good-
talk from Maine to Spain.
Maine
huh?
to
actually
Spain.
some
Compton to
in-
Watts,
Well,
baby.
go ahead now, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I just like the damn box too.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
Hey, man, no, I appreciate that,
For
bro.
sure, for sure.
Thank you. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah,
man.
right.
Yeah,
Four
you
more
know,
boxes.
yeah, come on back tomorrow, man. Hey, man, and when this guy was coming in with the box, I was like, oh. At first, when he came in, I thought the interview
Security
went too
coming
long.
in.
You know what I'm saying? I saw Big Homie come in. I was like, oh, shit.
We done did it now.
Here we go. You
Oh,
see, I was
no.
wrapping up like now. You
Right,
be like,
right, right.
Jeezy, thank you for coming into the neighborhood. But no, thank you, man. And
Thank
it's not
you.
about these gifts.
No.
It's not about figures.
Already.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's about you being you.
Hey, love, brother.
But this is even better.
Already.
You know what I'm saying? No, but I appreciate you, man, and keep motivating us, bro.
Already, bro.
And I love to see it, man. And I love to give flowers while people are here, bro.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So thank you for coming into the neighborhood, man. I love the growth. I love what we have in our rear view mirror, and I
Right.
love what we got going on through the windshields, bro.
Absolutely. Let's get it.
As we should. All righty, y'all stick around. Y'all radios, Jeezy in the neighborhood, Big Boys
Big
neighborhood.
boy.